Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so let's go ahead and post our live feed up on and we are posting. I think I've got this down now on how to post it quickly and effectively. And I think we've updated. Let me refresh just to make sure. And there it is. Awesome. Hi, everybody. Alright, so this week, if you can't tell, we're going tropical. We're going to do beach buddies. So I have a bunch of examples because since last time we went through 4 whole rocks and still had time left over, I've prepared 5 just in case. We may not get to all 5, but that's okay. I'd like to start off by thanking my sponsors, which are Bobby, Elizabeth, Marilyn, and my mother. And if you would like to become a sponsor, there are plenty of ways to sponsor us. We also have a Amazon wish list. If you would like it, please send me a personal message and I will send the link to you. But all of that information is in the description. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Last week we did Garden Buddies Part 2, and these were some of the examples that we did. Aren't those just the cutest? Here, I'll put these ones a little closer so you can see them better. I cleaned off my phone, so hopefully this is not as dirty now and that you can actually see me. Okay, so before we start though, I do have one bone to pick. So remember how I got all these new pens and stuff from the art store, which was great and all, but this Posco pen, this black pen, has already run out of ink. Like, I've had it for maybe 2 weeks, maybe, and this thing's already out. The Lotus Art Supplies ones I've had for over a year, and I've never had that issue. So, I like to give honest reviews. I'm not that impressed. I really loved the detailness of the brush. I thought it was great because it was so thin, but I'm not very happy with the shelf life. So, just for your future purchasing options, I wouldn't necessarily suggest going with the Posca pens. Alright, so today, our first thing is going to be a little whale. We're going to make a cute little whale. I'm going to refresh on how to do a ombre, because we haven't done those in 5 or 6 classes, really. And I'm going to be using the cerulean blue, the cobalt blue, and the dioxazine violet to make my ocean. So you want to get your rock. I have a very weird shaped rock. Like I said, you don't always have to have normal shaped rocks. It's fine. Just sort of make sure they're clean before you do this. Okay. So I'm going to take my stuff. I'm sorry about the snaps. I haven't quite put everything in, but I did discover a way to stop myself from having to use those big ones, which really snap, and it's these little things. They're the Double Take Creative Mark Art Product Pods, and I've had this paint in here for about 2 to 3 days, and I've seen 0 change in it. It hasn't, yeah, it kind of looks like a bean. But I haven't seen any difference in the texture of it yet, like it's changing. So, okay, so to start, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna go, and we're gonna put a dot on it. We're gonna do this with every color in the order we want the ombre. So, we're gonna put this one, and then this one. All the snapping. Sorry. I should just put some of this in here, but then it makes it hard to do this part. I'm going to take a wide brush. This is very important. Wide brush. And I'm going to go across, back and forth. And you want to make sure you don't like turn your brush, because then of course the dark would be on top. And that would kind of, you know, mess up the entire thing. See how quick and easy that was? And you just made an ombre. Very simple. And like I said, I love these paints because they're really full coverage. Like, there's no real holes in it. It's wonderful. I'm going to go ahead and do this for 2 more of my rocks. Yeah, 2 more of my rocks. You're welcome to do that as well if you would like. I'm just going to leave these open. Just so we don't have to hear that every single time I want to use paint. Okay? I just find that that's going to be easier. This one I'm going to do a little bit more. See? That's about how much paint you should be putting on your rock. Now this one, because it is so much bigger, did I not grab that? Oh no, I did not grab that. Oh, it's up here. I'm going to use one of these. So we're just going to do 1 color, or 2 colors at a time, it is. Because as you go down, and you want to do light to dark, don't go the other way. It'll completely mess you up if you go the other way. Okay, see? And yes, my hand is now purple. It's fine. I'm used to it. I don't ever have a normal colored hand. Gonna knock everything over. Again. Is it really my class if I don't knock at least like 4 things over during it? Really? Alright, so this is already dry. Love these paints. Alright, so now I'm going to choose a different color. You can choose whatever color you want. It can be gray, it can be pink like I did here. It's up to you. I'm going to do gray. And we're going to have to hear pop again. I kind of made it softer. Kind of worked. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of paint so that I'm not doing this. And I'm going to do this in the opposite direction of what I did in the previous one, if that makes sense. So start off, just make a really big C. And then just sort of make the tail come out. So it'll start to look almost like you're making an infinity symbol. And then I just add literally like a Y at the top of it. Very simple, very easy. Now fill in the body first because it's going to take longer to dry. And that's where we're going to be painting. So we want to sort of make sure that area gets full coverage first. And please remember, I am moving over all the videos to YouTube so that it's easier for everybody. So if you haven't yet, go to our YouTube page and go subscribe to TX Rockers. Name spelt just like it is here. And then for the tail, you just sort of want to make like petals almost to make a little tail. Isn't that cute? Isn't that interesting? Alright, so we're gonna let, actually this may already almost be dry. I really like these paints. Did you know that the water in a blue whale's mouth weighs as much as its entire body? True facts. Isn't that a weird one? It's weird little facts that I learned. Don't close them. Sorry. I was about to close them. I know better. Okay. So now we're going to take some white, which I have in my handy dandy little pot, to make our little eyes. Now, if you want and you have a spouncer, go ahead and use a spouncer. If you have pens, you can use a pen for a circle. I'm going to use a brush and some paint. This is probably going to be too much paint, but you can always just rub it off on the side of like your little container or a napkin or something. So don't feel, and we can always go back and fix it later, so it doesn't really matter. Alright, so I'm just going to make one circle. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, because eyes don't tend to be perfect circles, so. And our mantra for rocks is it doesn't have to be perfect, because it's yours. And that's what gives it character. So see? Now we have a cute little eye. So we're going to wait for that to dry. I'm going to close up my little white paint, see if it doesn't dry out. I'm doing this a little weird. I'm actually going through one rock at a time. I think it's because last time we finished so quickly. I don't really want to finish that quickly again, because that was a little shocking for me. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay. Let's see. Actually, I could do another base coat. Which side's soft? Yeah, this one. Okay. So, like we did before, just drip dots. And we're going to use that 2 at 1 method. And make sure not to mix up your paints, because I almost did. I completely almost put the darkest one in the middle. That would not have done what I wanted it to do. Alright, so one of the things you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure you get all the farthest reaches before you switch back down to the darker color, so that way, as you go down, you've already gotten all the spots you need, so you don't have to go back up with the dark color. Because like I said, that'll make it more difficult. I'm getting paint all over myself again. Hazards of the job, guys. And if you need more of one color, don't be afraid to put another dot and just mix it in. There we go. There we go. So we'll just let that one dry. Rinse off our brush. Should probably put this one in water too. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to, we're going to add the rest of the eye for this, which we're just going to use a little bit of black and a liner brush. I got these really great new brushes this week. that are super thin, if I can find it. Here it is. This is a 20/0. Super fine detail brush. I don't even know if you can see how fine detail that is. Like, it's a very tiny brush. I love little tiny brushes. I may end up cutting the tip a little because I don't like them that long, particularly. But we'll see. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make almost a circle inside, starting at the edge of the dot, so it's looking forward. And then I'm just going to line the rest of the eye as well, so it pops a little bit more. And please remember, comments are always welcome. Questions, concerns, anything you can think to ask. Alright, so now we've lined it. I'm going to be very careful with this brush just because it's such a fine liner. You don't want to rub it too rough because you'll fray it and then it won't do what it needs to do. So you just want to wet it and then just slowly pull the paint from it, as opposed to some of these others that I'll just be like, which is fine too. I mean, most of my brushes are like dollar store brushes. I don't tend to spend a lot of money on my brushes, except when I want something that's super fine, or maybe a really great fan brush, which I have a couple of. Alright, so we're going to take another brush and take a little bit of black paint, not too much, and we're going to fill the part that's closest to the edge that we started on. We're just going to fill that in with black. So it should look something like that. Now, you can outline your entire body of your whale if you would like. I may or may not do that today. I haven't decided yet. Probably not. I didn't do it for the other one, which is the example. Oh, I almost forgot its mouth. That would have been bad. I'm going to use with these brushes. And these are the Black Swan Filbert in size 0, in case you were wondering. And I'm taking very little. You can't see it because it's a black pen. Never mind. It's a black paintbrush. You're not going to be able to see my black paint on it. And I'm just going to make a little smile. See my little smile? Now he's happy. And we're going to wait for the black to dry a little bit. This is another one I'm a little bit more cautious with. Want to keep its shape. Okay, black's pretty much dry. So now I'm going to use white. And I'm going to take another type of liner pen. I'm just going to put a little bit on here and create a dot. And then a couple smaller dots. So see? Just 3 simple dots. then I'm just going to make a little heart. For a bubble. Ta-da! And that's our first rock already done. Alright, so now we're going to move on to our next one. Which will be this one, which is going to be a starfish. So this one we're going to use dotting, our favorite thing. And yes, I'm being a little facetious with that. And I'm going to take this one, the 0 liner, and you can trace this out with a pencil. If you are not very good at making stars, I'd suggest tracing it with a pencil first. But I kind of know what I'm trying to do with it. So we're just gonna make little dots all the way around. And this one specifically, your star doesn't really have to be great because starfish do not all look the same. And some have more than 5 tendrils, I guess. I think their highest number is like somewhere in the hundreds. It's ridiculous. So I've just done this. Okay. And then you can choose any color. I used orange last time. I may use orange again. I have not decided yet. I'm going to use orange just solely because I have a pen and I don't feel like using my paint, which would probably be easier, but I'm going to use a pen anyway. So you just want to make dots going in the same way all the white dots went. And these can be small, they can be big, it's up to you. And you can go and do another level if you want. I can hear my cat moving behind me. I'm a little concerned. Who knows what they're doing? Alright. So when you've done your second level, it should sort of look like that. You can keep going, you can change colors, you can do whatever. I'm going to go ahead and change color just because I have another orange. I don't know if this is any different of a color, to be honest. It may look exactly the same or be barely different. Either way, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to suggest never shaking this when it's open. I do that. Don't do it. It's a bad idea. I have ruined many clothing doing that. But I always forget, and then I do it anyway, and then I'm like, why did I just do that? If you mess up, that's okay. It's a-okay to mess up on a rock. You can always fix it. Always make it better. And then I'm just going to add yellow in here. I'm going to have it coming through to the different legs or arms. I don't know what they are. I guess arms. Do you know starfish can regrow their arms? Like, it only takes like a single arm, and then they can regenerate their entire body. So I kind of wonder, like, if you break a starfish on each arm, would you then have 5 starfish? Is that how that would work? I like kind of want to know. Not that I'm going to go out and do something like that, because to me that's sort of cruel to do, but it's like pulling tails off of lizards. Yes, they can regrow it, but it's still kind of mean to do it. And then we're just gonna finish dotting everywhere until we have completely finished and you have a little starfish. So I'm gonna go back around it and do white really fast because, oh come on, wait, don't tell me you're out too. Okay, it's not. We're good. False alarm. Just going back through and redoing the dots that are on the outside just to make them a little more prevalent and bigger and whatnot. Just so you can actually tell there's like dots on the outside. Oh, that was a cat by my leg. Hi, Prince. Please don't jump in my art box. I should really lock up my cats before I teach this class. Alright, so there we go. We have a little starfish. Oh, right, examples. I haven't been showing my examples. Whoops. Alright, so next, we're going to do this one. I'm glad, thank you. It occurs to me, like, if I put these on YouTube, nobody can see your comments, so it's like, I need to start remembering to ask the question that you've just asked, so people on YouTube would know if they didn't come here first. Things I gotta remember as I do all this stuff. Alright, so, actually, I'm gonna do this one. It's gonna be really pretty. So, this one, we're gonna do something similar to the dot thing, or the ombreing, but on a much smaller scale. So these can be pretty close together. See how I did 3 at the very bottom? Alright, and then we're just going to take our brush, we're going to go across, and back, forth, and back, forth, back and forth. And if you run out of paint in your brush, just go ahead and put more dots where you want the paint. Just make sure to sort of follow the places you already had it, if that makes sense. So see? Just like that. It's a little patchy, but it'll work. Alright, and then we're going to we're going to do another ombre, and I'm going to use a pink and a blue. So normally I would let this dry completely, but I figure why not? Live wild. Yes, this is my sense of living wild. Yes, so all of my paints are acrylic paints. These are the Soho Urban Artist acrylics, and I'm using magenta and cerulean blue. The bottom is... Oh wait, no, sorry. I'm using magenta and magnesium blue for the sky, and I'm using cerulean, cobalt blues, and the dioxazine violet for the darkest part. And I got these at Jerry's Artarama, which are available online, which is why I got them. Okay. Ooh, there was a lot more water in my brush than I thought. Oh no. Alright, so that's what it's going to do. Isn't that pretty? Woo! I'm making a huge mess over here. Whoops. Sorry, table. Alright. We're going to let this dry a little. Hopefully that will dry quickly. And I just got paint all over my hands again. Alright, so while that one's doing that, we will start on this one. I'm finally switching. Okay, so for this one, this is going to be a jellyfish. Isn't it cute? Little jellyfish. And what we're going to do is we're going to first draw out our outline for it. In fact, I'll just use a white so that you'll be able to see it better. I'll use a white. So essentially make what looks like a hard shell taco, if that makes sense. And then just kind of give it a little bit of a curved bottom. So it looks like that. It looks like a taco. There's just no way I can spin that any other way. It looks like a taco. And then from your taco, you're going to create little tendrils, which are going to be our legs. And these can be as long as you like. Mine are 4 simple little legs. It's as simple as it gets. I guess I can close the gray, I'm not using it. Don't want it to go bad. Or dry out, I guess. Alright, so then you want to choose your color. Now, there are all types of jellyfish. In fact, there are jellyfish in pretty much every body of water, like every ocean, and then in a lot of freshwater lakes and even ponds. So there are tons of types of jellyfish. In fact, jellyfish have been around for more than 650 million years. They predate dinosaurs. And lobsters and jellyfish actually are considered immortal because the only way they die is if they're killed. Interesting little facts. I found that very interesting. I was reading about them earlier and I was like, I did not know that. But I guess that explains why you don't really see like dead jellyfish just around all the time. I guess that would get mucky in the water if we did that. So I'm going to use an orange, and this is the cadmium orange. So now, something I should warn you. Cadmium, the way they make acrylic paints is the cadmium powder is put into an acrylic base, which while doing it changes the way that it works, the way the compound is, so it doesn't become toxic, so I don't have to wear gloves. But if you're going to put it in your water, don't put it down the sink. You want to dry it out with a paper towel and then throw that out. Because cadmium poisoning is still a real thing. And it is dangerous, so don't sniff your paint. I mean, I shouldn't have to warn you to do that, but don't sniff your paint. Don't eat it either. It's not tasty. I don't have experience or anything. Anyways, we're going to use the cadmium orange for our body. So just going exactly where I was, I'm just going to go. And because I've already put a layer of the Soho paint, it is not going to show up easily. So we are going to have to do a couple coats. Unless you want to do a white coat as your base coat, which would have been smart for me to do, but I didn't do it. So, here we are. Alright, so we're just going to fill it in really quickly. I mean, don't have to really quickly it, but I'm going to do it really quickly. And whoop. Remember, if you mess up, it's okay. I mess up all the time, and it doesn't seem like anybody notices. Worst comes to worst, just wash off your rock and start from scratch. And remember to also fill in your legs. Because we're going to add tentacles to those soon. Doop, doop. Doop, doop. Alright, and there's our base. It actually looks really cool as the see-through, because that's actually what they look like. Legitimately, they're pretty translucent. So, and some are strongly transparent. I was swimming in Belize, and the water there is so clear, but I saw these pretty much clear little tiny baby jellyfish. I was shocked because they were really clear. It was so hard to see them. So, I mean, you can make your jellyfish just be an outline. It would work. Jellyfish are all sorts. There's a huge one, I think, that's called Big Pinky or something like that. It's a weird name. But there's all sorts of jellyfish. There's bioluminescent jellyfish. There's ones that glow in the dark. That's really cool. So if you wanted to add glow in the dark to your jellyfish, you go right ahead. Alright, so that's dry enough for a second coat. I'm going to add a second coat. I love these paints because they work so fast. So nice. Alright. So the way I'm putting my paint on is I'm adding it at the kind of the apex of the head, and then pulling it down so that even the flow of the paint works in the way like a jellyfish dome would work. Does that make sense? And then for the legs, I'm just putting it on. But you know, who needs legs? Do you know there's actually jellyfish that have no legs? I thought that was crazy. I was like, what? There's also one that if you cut off one of its tentacles and it has like an odd number, it'll actually like change the way its tentacles are laid out to make it so that it can swim faster. So they're all symmetrical. I learned a lot about jellyfish today. It was weird. Alright, so there we go. Cute little jellyfish. Now remember, because I'm using a cadmium paint, I can't just put this down in my sink after I'm done. Even if it's super diluted, it's too dangerous. Okay. So we're going to let that dry for a minute. We're going to go back to our little skyscape. And this one is very, very, very simple. Get my picture reference. Okay. Oh, yeah. Y'all didn't see the picture reference. This was the picture reference. I used red, let's see, I used red, magenta, and the dioxazine, however you say it, violet for the top. So that it would do just kind of a thing. But I didn't ombre well, like you can see that line, right? So you want to be careful about doing that. Oh, I'm just realizing there's a little bit of a pink overflow. Oh, cool. I got it done with just my nail. Okay, so we're going to take our little liner brush, and I'm going to use black. You can use white. You can use whatever color you want. It doesn't have to be black. I just like the idea of it. Simple. And we're going to make a tail. So, essentially, make what kind of looks like that in your water. Anywhere in the water. It doesn't have to be in the middle. I'm just doing it in the middle because it's easier. It can be off to the side. It doesn't have to be the main point of your picture. And we're going to make those leaf type fins like we did for the other whale. Oop. Oop. No, there we go. And there we go. Cute little whale tail in your water. You can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. It doesn't really matter. I'm just doing it this way because I kind of like that it's not overwhelming. It's like when you actually see them off the side of a boat, it's sort of this small thing in the distance, but you're like, that's so cool. Alright, and now we use white. I'm going to use just my marker, just for ease. And I'm going to make some like wave lines. And you can make as many as you like. If you'd like to do the whole thing with wave lines, you go right ahead. I'm just doing that much. I kind of moved my ring light to try and reduce the glare. So I hope you can see this pretty clearly. So I wonder if I like put it really close if it'll focus. No, it won't. Thanks, Facebook. But you can also like just kind of do some squiggles along the side. They don't have to be perfect. I'm going to just put a little moon just up in the corner over here. Because out on the ocean you can see a lot more stars and whatnot. See? Very simple, very easy. And you can add stars if you want up in the top. There. And we're done with that. It's very simple. Alright, so back to jellyfish. So, for the jellyfish, we're going to use some black for the eyes and the lining of our piece. Where are my other liners? Oh, there's one. So, somewhere right around the middle of the face, we're going to put eyes. You don't have to put eyes. But I'm going to put some eyes. Because I think they're cute when they smile. And this whole thought came along because I realized not every garden is the same. Yeah? Yes, it's a whale tail, by the way. This one. Some people don't have, green backyards. Some people have beach backyards. Some people have mountainous backyards. They're not all greenery and, the classic backyard we think of when we think of backyard. Alright, and then I'm just going to make a tiny little smile. It looks very creepy right now. I'm so sorry. It will have better color soon. Okay, so then we're also going to, ooh, that is a lot of paint on my brush. Go ahead and line. You can line in white, you can line in black. I may actually do this in a pen just to make sure I don't mess up. So, where's my other pen? Yeah, the other one works just fine. It's just that one Posco pen just did not want to stay wet. I'm very upset about it. All the other ones are fine. Just not that black. Come through and just line the tentacles as well. And then we're going to make the little suckers. Because I've decided I'm making this an octopus. A little cute octopus. You can make it whatever you want. Like I said, it could be a jellyfish if you want to just do tendrils. You can make it a jellyfish if you want to do this. It can be an octopus. Which is really what I was doing the entire time, but I kept calling it jellyfish, and I don't know why. think I'm just tired. I haven't eaten really anything today. There was a sudden rainstorm earlier, and I was really worried about my backyard, which I'm extending my patio, and I was like, oh no. I was really terrified it was going to get everywhere. So, you know. Alright, so now I'm going to put a little bit of color in the suckers for my octopus. Not a jellyfish. Octopus. Just to make it a little lighter. So we're just filling in the suckers. With a lighter color. So see? Like I said, it looks really creepy right now. Sorry. It won't look creepy at the end. It'll look cute. I hope. It's supposed to look cute. Okay? We'll go with that. How about that? Alright. So now that the black is dried, I'm going to use my white pen. You can use a paintbrush. We're just going to make little dots in the eyes. Okay, apparently I might be using a paintbrush. Yep, I'm going to have to use a paintbrush. Oops. I'll just use some white on a paintbrush. Alright, so don't take much. We're just going to put a dot in the top corner. And then a tiny reflecting dot in the bottom corner. And then we're going to add some bubbles. Because bubbles up. Keep seeing something flash. Really concerning when you're home alone. So, that's what he looks like so far. Like I said, you can make him brighter if you want. I kind of like him a little less colorful. I think it's kind of cute. Will we actually get to this last one? We're going to find out. Who knows? Alright, so we gotta let that dry. So I guess, yeah, we're getting to this last one. Go us. Alright, so like we did earlier, we're going to do the jellyfish. That's why. I had jellyfish on the brain because I knew I was going to do a jellyfish. I just didn't do it immediately. I did it in the wrong order. It's fine. Sometimes they're just those days. Quarantine is the best time to have them. That's what we're going to do. Colors. Oop. This is very wet. Whatever. Oop. Almost made a very bad mistake, guys. My hands are blue. 1, 2, hands are blue. Alright, so we're going to let this dry. That's our little ombre. Can't believe we're getting through so many rocks. Awesome, these are done. Cool. Okay, so we're going to take the black pen. I'm going to go in. I'm just going to make little dots for the center of the suckers. On my not a jellyfish. So that's what he looked like. I know it doesn't focus very well, but you will also get to see all the pictures afterwards because I take a picture after the class and I will post it post haste. Also with all the websites for the places that I've done. Alright, so we're going to do this really fast. We're going to see if we can get through this. We've got 4 minutes. So, wish me luck. Alright, so just sort of like the octopus, gonna make sort of like a taco face. This one can have a flat bottom. See? I wish it looked actually that vibrant. In person, it's not that vibrant. It's very old, but I'll go back through and I'll redo it later. And then I'm just going to take, oh, I can't take that because it's too wet. I'll take this white one because this one's a little bit easier to use. Why are you blue? You are a white pen. Why are you blue? No. Come on. Go white. That's better. Okay. Of course it's about to get blue again, because it's, yeah. Alright, so this one is really simple. You're just gonna make little lines coming off of it. Excuse me. Ah. Ta-da! It's a jellyfish. Now, you can add eyes to it if you'd like. You can leave it like this. You can use as many tendrils as you'd like. You can use as few as you'd like. Remember, some don't even have tendrils. You can add like a little kind of scalloped edge along here, because some have like frilly edges. It's up to you. I can't believe we did 5 rocks, guys. I really can't. This is, I'm getting good at this. I think I'm finally getting the hang of my own class. So, what we did today, we did our little whale. We did our starfish. We did our little beach scene with the whale tail. We did our octopus. And then we did our little jellyfish. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed the class. Remember, you can find this on YouTube as well as on our Facebook page. If you'd like to become a sponsor, please go ahead and do so. This is my job right now. Thanks, Corona. I also sell my rocks. I'm still trying to set up an online store, but if that doesn't happen, feel free to message me. I'm more than happy to discuss my prices with you. I hope that everyone has a great weekend, and hopefully it stays dry where you are. And I will see y'all same time, same place next week. So, bye everybody.